हेलो गाइस, वेलकम टू येट अनदर एपिसोड ऑफ डगआउट डिस्कशंस। और आज मेरे साथ है ऑद्रिजा। ठीक है, आज हम लोग बात करने वाले हैं एएफसी कप का, मोहन बागान का क्लासिक परफॉर्मेंस था 2-0 बेंगलुरु एफसी। इसके बारे में क्या बोलना है ऑद्रिजा?
Very good performance. Once again, I think if you don't see the possession at the end of the game, Mohan didn't even have 40% of the ball possession. But other than that, I think it was a very dominating performance and showed why they finished runners-up last season in the ISL. I didn't see a moment when it was panic stations for Mohan Bagan. Bengaluru didn't even, I think, work the keeper, let alone scoring goals. Amrinder, I think he was almost, he could have just fallen asleep and still Mohan wouldn't have conceded a goal. So I think it was a very lackluster performance from Bengaluru. At the same time, credit goes to the defense line of Mohan Bagan. I think they have adjusted very well. Sandesh Jingan couldn't feature for them because he got a call up in Croatia, which is a big thing for him and for India as well. But at the last hour, Sandesh left the team, so Mohan couldn't find a replacement for him. And if you see in India, still there isn't a replacement for Sandesh Jingan. But they tried their best. Carl McHugh played very well in deep defense. He is usually a CDM, we all know that, but he played really well as a centre back, and he was ably supported by Subhashish and Pritam Kotal. Subhashish, the birthday boy, I think he was fabulous. Roy Krishna was given the man of the match, but to me, I think Subhashish deserved it because he scored one goal and also he had one assist, and along with that, he kept a clean sheet. So what else do you want from your left back? So it was a superb performance from Shubhashish, and everyone I think played their part. If anything, I think David Williams, his performance will be a bit under the scanner. Other than that, everyone, I think Havas got game time out of every player, even the players who started from the bench. Liston played a good shift in the second half. He could have scored a goal, but unfortunately he lost his footing. But other than that, I think it was a very compact, very solid performance, very Habas-like performance, if I could say so. And I think Mohan have a great platform set in the very first match. And at the same time, Bengaluru FC, I think they have their backs against the wall, and only one team will progress to the semi-finals. So I think they need to pull up their socks and produce a scintillating performance when they face a very tough opponent in Bosundara tomorrow.
एग्जैक्टली मोहन बागान उन्होंने बिल्ड किया अपने लास्ट सीजन के परफॉर्मेंस के ऊपर। इसके बारे में क्या बोलना है? बहुत सारी टीम्स हम लोग देख रहे हैं, लास्ट सीजन दे फिनिश्ड एट अ गुड पॉइंट, उसके बाद से टीम ब्रेक करना शुरू हुआ, लेकिन मोहन बागान ने अपने टीम को होल्ड किया। उसके बाद दे मेक एडिशंस लाइक बोमोस एंड देन अमरिंदर सिंह, फिर आया जॉनी कोको। मतलब इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग टीम लेके दे आर इन द एएफसी कप, so we expect more of them, right?
Absolutely. I think their main strength is the Indian lineup they have. They already had the best players, the best above 25, the age group of above 25. They already had those players in their lineup. Now this time they took players like Liston Colasso. He is under 25 and he is someone for the future. They tried their best to get Apuya, but they couldn't do that. He signed for Mumbai City FC. Otherwise, Apuya would have been a big signing. But the players like Sheikh Shahil and Kian Nasiri from the trials, he did well and impressed Abbas, and now he's in with the main team. So these young players, they have also these young players who could slot in and provide match-winning performances. So I think, and it's just as you said, it's very important to retain the core of your squad, especially when you're doing well in a season where you have done well. Yes, you couldn't win against Mumbai City FC in the finals, but other than that, it was a season that Mohan Bagan would be proud of. So they retained the core, and the additions they had, they were big deals. If you look at Amrinder, Liston Kola. So all the big names of last season. It was this is just like the best of last season, the best team of last season, best 11 of last season. So they picked most of those players from there. Hugo Bumos, he is one of the best players I think to have laid his foot on Indian soil. So a player of the caliber of Johnny Kauko couldn't find his place in the team, couldn't book his flight to the Maldives. Shows how strong this team is, and they have the side to build upon, and the performance that they put in their first match, playing after such a long time, while Bengaluru was coming after playing matches in qualifiers, but Mohun came on started from a fresh slate and played as if they didn't stop playing. They didn't have a break in between last season and now. So I think it's going to be a very good campaign, promising campaign for Mohunbagan, as they have the team, and they have the team that can let their fans believe in them. And also, I think this time they are playing a much more attacking brand of football than what they played in the ISL. If we look at the first match, I think everyone was looking more to score goals, more attack-minded from the very first minute, not only depending on the long balls and counter-attack, although they didn't have the possession to show for, but I think especially in the first half, they went to the final third of Bengaluru FC a lot. And if Costa, the Bengaluru centre back, if he wasn't there, I think they would have scored 4 or 5 goals against Bengaluru. But that's past now. I think they would be looking forward to the match against Maziya tomorrow, the home team. They are also the champions in the league and will pose a strong threat to Mohunbagan, and they are also coming after a loss against 2-0 loss against Bosundara. So this is a do-or-die match for them. So they will come out all guns blazing, and Mohunbagan will have to weather that storm initially, especially because they would have to assess the players how they are. They knew a lot about Bengaluru FC because they play in the same league, but Maziya is a new team altogether. Yes, you can do your data analytics, you can see the videos and all, but unless you play against a team, you see them up close and personally, you don't get the full idea of how of their strengths and weaknesses. So the first 15 to 20 minutes, it would be about assessing their opponents and staying compact in defense. And after that, they will look to explode and go up front and score goals with the players in their ranks like Roy Krishna and Hugo Bumos and David Williams. They would look to score later on.
अभी तो बस मारियो मांजुकिच आ जाए, फिर तो पीएससी बन जाएगी हमारा ये आईएसएल का. बट एनीवे, अ लॉट अबाउट मोहन बगान. विल मूव ऑन टू बेंगलुरु एफसी, जो कि काफी प्रोफेशनल थे इवन 2-3 इयर्स बैक, और अभी इन लोग का एफसी कप का पहला मैच में लग गई मोहन बगान के अगेंस्ट. दे आर अप अगेंस्ट वसुंधरा किंग्स, जो कि मतलब ग्रुप का एक बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग स्क्वाड है. इस मैच का क्या प्रेडिक्शन है? लाइक बेंगलुरु वर्सेस वसुंधरा किंग्स. विल बेंगलुरु गेट थ्रैश्ड बाय वसुंधरा किंग्स, or will they fight back? Captain Little Legend, will he step up?
Well, I think first of all, they need to provide more balls to Sunil Shetty. I think he's not getting the supply that he needs to score goals. You can't expect him to come drop down in defense and take the ball and dribble plus 10 players to score goals. So you need to provide him the balls. I am a bit worried. I don't see those players in Bengaluru's ranks that can provide him the balls that he can score goals from. Udanta is still not at his best, and that is a real cause of concern for Bengaluru. Even in last game, I think I couldn't figure out what their strategy was, whether they were looking to play aerial balls, whether they were looking to play passing football. I just couldn't figure out. So game plan lacked, but I think now after playing against Mohunbagan, I think a very tough opponent, one of the favorites to win the whole tournament. Bengaluru would be in a better condition, better situation now, and they have got a real reality check, if you can say so. So after that performance, I think it's a make or break situation now for them, and the Bengaluru FC that we know, they will always come back hard, and especially when their backs are against the wall, they will come out striking. So I see no reason why they can't beat Bosundara Kings, even if they are Bosundara go into the tournament as the favorites, as the match into the match as the favorites. But I think Bengaluru have every chance of beating them. And when you have someone like Sunil Chhetri in your ranks, so you can always believe. But it's just that Bengaluru need to provide him more balls from which he can finish.
तो अब हम लोग मूव करते हैं लाइक स्कोर प्रेडिक्शंस और प्लेयर्स टू लुक आउट पर. पहले ही मैच में आते हैं मोहन बागान वर्सेस माजिया. स्कोर लाइन एंड प्लेयर्स टू लुक आउट फॉर.
Well, for Mohan Bagan, I think it's again going to be the talismanic player, Roy Krishna. He just doesn't stop scoring. So Roy is obviously the player to look out for. But one player that I'm looking forward to, and I hope he does really well. He played well in the first match as well, and I hope he gets his name in the scorers sheet for tomorrow. And that's Manveer Singh. He has really been a different find altogether, especially from last season. Just after he played under Sergio Lobera in Goa, he has just transformed his gameplay to a new level altogether, and I really enjoy it when he just runs past the defenders to the right flank. So I think he is another player to look out for. And for Maziya, they are champions, and this is their home turf, so they know how to play over here. They know each blade of grass of this ground, so it's going to be a debating contest against Bengaluru FC. We knew that Mohan Bagan were head and shoulders above them before the match started, at least on paper, and that is what transpired after 90 minutes. But against Maziya, there's going to be a lot of players who could make a mark, and Mohan Bagan will be looking out for them as well. As I said, first 15 to 20 minutes would be very crucial. They would be looking to assess the players and then go for the attack. But Mohan Bagan need to keep in mind that they can't go into a shell. If they do that, then Maziya are the kind of team that can strike them hard. Because last season Maziya, in their 14 matches, they scored a total of 34 points. So that is no mean feat. And the second best team, they had only 25 points. So they won the league by 9 points. A 14-match league is not much. So even then, they got to win. They won the league by 9 points. So Maziya are a team to look out for, and they would be coming all guns blazing. So it's going to be a good contest. But score prediction, I think it's again going to be Mohan Bagan 2-0.
5 minutes. So coming back to the next match, I think this one is happening before Bengaluru FC versus Basundhara Kings. Scoreline prediction and players to look out for.
Well, Bengaluru, obviously, Sunil Chhetri is the player to look out for, and also Costa, the defender. I think he had a great game in the last match against Mohan Bagan. So these two players, obviously, are players to look out for. And for Basundhara, I think their player Robinho is a very good player. He is someone that Bengaluru need to look after, because he can score goals from any situation. So it's going to be a riveting contest as well. Basundhara would go into the match as favorites, but you can't count the Bengaluru FC out. They have won every competition they have participated in till now, and they missed the AFC Cup by a whisker. They cashed up in the finals, but this time they would be looking to do one better. So maybe this is the start. This is the time to start winning against Basundhara Kings, who are tipped as one of the favorites to win the tournament. If they can beat them and beat them comprehensively, that would do well to their confidence as well. And you never know from there. So my prediction for the match, it could be a draw, 1-1 draw, but my patriotic self would say 1-0 to Bengaluru FC.
Thank you, Aditya, for joining me today, and we hope to see you in the later episode. And we hope the India team अच्छा परफॉर्म करे एफसी कप में। तो आज के लिए शटर डाउन करने का टाइम आ ही गया है। तो लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब इफ यू लाइक दिस वीडियो। दैट्स इट फॉर टुडे। गुड नाइट।